Hi, I'm Jo and I'd like to show you a quick birthday card for you to make using a couple of different techniques. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of die cutting and we're using some gilding flakes as well. So before we do anything else, I'll just cut my dies. Now I'm going to be do a little cheeky little trick here and actually cut the dies out of the actual paper that I'm going to mat and layer with so that we can have the matching paper. Okay, so we'll die cut the main circle that we're using the Sizzix. There you go. And you can see there it's cut beautifully. So we'll just pop that out. Really pretty die. There we are. So we'll just pop out a couple of little bits. There we go, so that it makes it look really lovely. Okay. It's always worthwhile just taking a minute just to pop out these because it just makes it look really special. There we go, and what I would also like to do is to pop another circle die in the middle of this one so that we can have one circle on top of another. Lay that on, and pop it through. Okay. So we now have that lovely circle with the circle cut out and also another one to mat and layer on top. Okay, so there are two elements that we're going to just put to one side while we do our gilding flake. And we just chop. Now I've got a piece of double-sided adhesive and just cut it down a little bit so we don't use any more than what we need to do with the gilding flakes. Take one side off, either side, it doesn't matter. There we go. There we are, and just lay this in our tray. Pop our gilding flake over the top. Get lots more flake in the pot than what you think because it all gets packed down really solidly. There we go. Just now what we need to do is just rub that into the double-sided adhesive. There we go. Now making sure it all gets covered, and just take that out now so that you can see it a little bit better. And then just take a piece of sponge and just rub over, taking your excess off and actually smoothing down your sheet as well, because what we're going to do, we're going to die cut this as well to actually produce two balloons which are perfect on a birthday card. So we've got our balloon die here, and then we're going to pop it through our die cutting machine. Place your foiling sheet, the sheet that you've just foiled, just over the top, okay, and pop it through. There we go. And I think it'd be nice just to have two balloons, so I'll just pop this one out. There we go. So that's one we've got there for our birthday card, and always tap the extra pieces out because it never cuts entirely perfect if you don't. There we go. There we are. Right, and then just place that one down and cut a second balloon. There we lots left on that sheet actually, so we can use that for something else another day. And just pop that out of the die. There we go, so we've got our 2 balloons, which are really lovely. Pop those to one side, finish with that die now. Now I've already pre-arranged a background, so I'll just talk you through what I've used. I actually used some velvet paste through onto some gilding sheets that I'd already done the same method as this one, with a stencil through, dried it all out, so that's a background. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of cardstock and our paper that we've used. Let's have a look. Just to offset that just slightly. There we go. So I'll just pop that down onto our card base. There we go. So of course we've used the paper to actually cut the die out of, but nobody's going to notice that. It saves paper, and that means we can also use the same design paper, which is quite lovely, as to keep the continuity going through, which is quite nice. And then pop that one over the top. I've also backed that with a little tiny bit of black paper just to make the silver pop away from the actual design itself. There we go. And then we're going to take our circle, we're going to place that in the middle there. But what I want to do is to use a little bit of foam tape so that it stands proud. Okay. Let's pop a couple of pieces of the foam tape. There we go. Just in sort of each quarter, of the actual die cut, and then it will stand nicely and even. There we go. Just pop the backs off. There we go. Might just pop a little tiny bit in there as well, because that area just needs a bit more. There we go. Place that down. There we go. And then with our centerpiece that we use, we're going to just put some more foam tape on the back of that. It's quite handy being in a roll, so then you can actually use slightly bigger pieces where you need to. There we go. Just pop those off. I'm going to just pop that into the circle like so. So we've actually got the gilding flake coming through, which looks really nice, the actual gilding and some of the purple as well. And then we're going to take our balloons, just making sure that they're all the little bits have taken out. There we go, let's pop that there. And then what I want to do is actually pop that oh, I've got flake all over my hands. Just pop that on with some silicone glue. Now, although we did, as you saw, we did do this on double-sided sticky sheet, you can actually peel the backing off. It does make them quite fragile though if you do that. So if you keep the backing on and just use a regular glue, or like I'm using here, some silicone glue, because I want to lift them away from the actual design slightly. It does give it that little bit more stability on the design. And then I have a little border here, which is going still with the purple theme. There we go. I've got a little bit of black as well, just to make that pop. I'm just going to tape that down, mat, and layer that onto some of that black paper. Okay. Take off the ends that you don't want. Okay. And then pop tape on either end. Just bend that slightly. Just pop over the top of those balloons, underneath the balloons, leveling it off with the circles that you've got in the background, just take the ribbon of the balloon over there like so. And then I have got a sentiment. Now I've also, the paste that I used for the stenciling, what I'm going to do is just take a tiny little bit onto my finger and just go around the edges, and that just includes that purple as well, which is quite nice. Just to bring that in, bend that slightly over, and then a little bit of silicone glue on the back of that, bend that, and then just sneak that in there underneath those two ribbons. There we go, and that's a nice quick birthday card, but using lots of different technique and product.